This is the story of men who are victims of war. The average age was 19.
I would not send our troops into battle unless I was absolutely sure that they were properly equipped for what they're doing.
Are you sure? Do you promise? What about the poor paid for the troops?
I think it's a scandal that someone who starts in the army gets paid £6,000 less than someone starting as a firefighter or in the police service. I want them to have the same pay, and I also want them to have proper body armor, proper helicopters, proper vehicles.
Are you sure? Do you promise? Do you really promise?
If I was your Prime Minister, I would want to think very carefully what's in the national interest. What will make us safer here in the United Kingdom?
Are you sure? Do you really promise?
What about the lack of equipment?
I think in the case of Afghanistan, far too many of those questions weren't answered.
Why? Unacceptable.
I also have to say about Afghanistan that this is a mission that can work.
Gordon, are you sure? Are you really sure?
We shouldn't be spending billions of pounds of people's money when we have people on the front line in Afghanistan without the right equipment, without the right protection.
British soldiers have to pay for their own insurance.
Why? This is so wrong. Totally unacceptable. Do we do enough for our forces?
I don't think we do enough for them.
Why? This is wrong.
What about the lack of equipment?
Let's make sure we've got the right equipment, the right strategy, so that they can come back having done the job we've asked them to do, knowing they've done the job well.
Do you promise? Do you really promise?
We've got to ensure that pay continues to rise for our troops, and those people who leave the forces have got to get proper protection, homes, health service, and of course the chance of jobs.
Will you keep your word? Do you really promise?
Yes, there will be a defence review in the next Parliament, so we can do our best by our forces.
Do you promise? David, Nick, Gordon, do you promise? Are you telling the truth?
I think if you put soldiers into harm's way, you either do the job properly or you don't do it at all.
You didn't have to talk to many of our servicemen and women before they told you they simply didn't have enough helicopters.
I would not send our troops into battle unless I was absolutely sure that they were properly equipped for what they're doing.
David, Nick, Gordon, do you really promise?